Alrighty, howdy, hey there folks, hope you're doing well tonight, hope you're doing amazing tonight. We are going to be getting right into it pretty darn quickly here. We have in front of ourselves some lovely, lovely Elden Ring, and sure enough, we're going to be trying to get our no-hit on tonight. So, we'll see how lucky we get at it. I think in this case we have an overall better chance of it. But we'll kind of have to see what ultimately happens. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It may go well. It may not. I'm not entirely sure in this case. But you know what? Either way, tonight is either more practice or it's the golden run. We'll just have to see, honestly, frankly, as things play out. Yeah. Anywho, let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's start a new character. Let's do this and hopefully make something happen. Let's see here. Samurai, runes. Go ahead and pick a skin of a variety. I guess we could do the minty fresh. We could do the minty fresh. Hey Jasp, how you doing tonight? It's good seeing ya. You're at work. Okay. Gotcha. Well, hopefully work is treating you pretty well for the most part. Yeah, I literally had just started up the stream when you had messaged me, admittedly, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're sleepy. I can completely respect it. It does not feel it doesn't feel like it's 7 o'clock right now. It's funny, I could have sworn we were past the that time frame of the year where the sun goes down the fastest, but it does not feel like 7 o'clock right now. And I'm not particularly a fan of it. I'm not happy about it. I would much rather, I don't know, like I wish it was spring at this point, honestly. Like that's kind of where my heart is, admittedly. And Jasp, since you were first here tonight, I will make it Jasp. And there we go. Perfect. Actually, better than that. Noodle. There we go. Noodle. OBS, the fuck are you up to, you silly fucking goofball ass piece of shit? I don't know what shit OBS is on right now, but it's clearly some shit, frankly. And I'm not vibing with it much. I'm not vibing with OBS fucking around like this, honestly. Surely OBS is gonna stop fucking around real fucking fast here. God, I curse a lot. But mainly when OBS pisses me off. So that sounds like it's a lot, but really in this case it is. Anyways, let's begin the run. Let's do this. Let's make some magic happen. Let's get a no-hit, shall we? Although, admittedly, if OBS fucks up even further, probably what I'll do at that point is, if OBS keeps fucking up, I will likely have to take a little bit of a break to go make something happen to get this fixed, because otherwise I will not be too happy about it, and I would prefer OBS stop. It is, in fact, you. Yes. Yes, it is, Jasp. Hopefully work has been treating you better. I certainly hope so. Work wasn't terrible today for me, personally. It was okay, overall. Probably, frankly, could have spent more time outside of work. But you know what? I can't complain reasonably because, I mean, I went in, I did my shift, did what I had to do and everything, and got out at a reasonable enough time, went to the gym, went and kicked my ass properly. God, I am really glad when I get to actually get my ass kicked properly. Like, like, unironically, it is such a good feeling. It really is. It makes all the difference. So. Okay. Alright, so. First step, we're gonna go get the... We're gonna go get the flail. Once we have the flail, then we're gonna go ahead and... I don't know if we're gonna immediately book it on over to whatchamacallit, to Liurnia, but I do want to go get my balls probably sooner than later. Just because I think in this case, kind of like what I've been thinking of plan-wise, is we could probably cut down our overall time frame of what we're doing and how we're doing it if we just head towards Liurnia a lot sooner and do try to get through it as quickly as we can. What's my routine? In what capacity, Jasp? Because if you mean like in-game right now, it's pretty much right now what we do is we get a little bit of money, we go and get the flail, we go and murder a man with very big balls, we steal his balls, and then after we steal his balls, we hopefully win the game. That's roughly like the rundown, more or less. Although I will say I'm a little sad now that I think about it, that I didn't customize the character a little bit more to be more Jaspalicious. So I am sorry for that. I could have definitely have done that, and that is my bad. I don't really need to sneak there, but fuck it, whatever. It's not that deep. Do a quick sneak. I might reset the stream for half a second here because unfortunately, because OBS decided to get real fucky-wucky with it today, the stream delay got extended by a couple of seconds here longer than I personally care for. And I figure while nothing's really happening, I don't really think anybody would mind. So, alright, there we go. Should be fixed.
Greetings, traveler from beyond the fog. I am Melina.
There we go. Okay. It's okay. So in this case, Jasper, did I answer the question correctly, or did I fail the equation?
I can turning to aid you. You need O to the foot. Yet I'm summoned.
Ah, shit, I didn't actually mean to tell her no. That's my bad. Whoops. There we go. We're just gonna have to do that real quickly one more time.
Have you reconsidered?
Squeeze the chili cheese out of my bacon. Fucking come on, OBS. Yeah, frankly, with the number of issues, is that it could just be that OBS is just fucking around harder than usual. So I don't know. We do need it to be daytime, actually. There we go. Daytime set up. Alright, horse there. Beautiful. I think it's 18 decks that we need, but I'm going to go ahead and hold off for right now until I can remember properly. We're going to go and set up the kukri. Yes, because we need those. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and start booking it on over towards the Weeping Peninsula Grace. Alright, beautiful. I'm gonna fucking reset. That one's so goddamn stupid. No. I'm blaming that one on fucking OBS fucking around. I'm gonna redo it. God damn it. That's annoying as piss. That one was annoying as piss. That should not have happened in the way that it did, but okay. Alright. We're gonna re-noodle it. Noodle? There we go. Money. And let's go ahead and use our actual, like, lovely skin on this one. There we go. Cool. God damn it. That was fucking dumb. Something like that happened last time too, admittedly, but it was a little bit later on, and... Oh, you know what? That's the one thing I think I just realized I forgot to actually do properly here, is I forgot to turn on the counter. Alright, there we go. Counter is on. Good stuff. Alright. Well, you know what? Actually, I think I will end up needing the standard arrows here soon enough. But, like, they don't matter as deeply. Not currently, at least. With it being that early, I would prefer to just go ahead and full reset, because, like, that is such a stupid fucking hit to take, admittedly. Maybe I wait to do the time reset, or jump to morning until I get over to the second grace closer to Bach. Maybe that would be a smarter plan. There we go. Cool. Alright, we don't need armor. Beautiful. And let's go. I think I have a rough idea of most, if not all, of what I want to get done here. It's just a matter of making it all happen. And while some of this stuff can be a little frustrating, I don't believe all of it truly is frustrating. So, as long as I do a well enough job here for the most part, it really shouldn't, in theory, matter. Okay. Alright, so we're gonna go get Torrent, then we're gonna go ahead and do our little lap around the peninsula, more or less. Once we're done... really, the fucking item, please. Thank you. Alright, we do need to come back here to Kale one way or another, because that is how we end up getting our crafting kit. And that does matter, for sure. It's not really much money in the grand scheme of things, but I do prefer to open these up whenever I run across them, because, I mean, 200 apiece, get enough of these and stack them up enough times, it definitely does make, like, enough of a difference, and it is important to definitely act on that when you have the chance to. Same thing I feel about the Roa fruit, admittedly, whenever I come across it and pick it up. It obviously isn't really equating to much, or hardly anything at all. But, again, you get enough of them put together, it does pay off in some capacities. So. Do need to be careful about the boar, I believe, right? I could have sworn boars were aggressive, but I guess I could have that one actually wrong. That might be a different game that I'm thinking of right now, that the boars are aggressive. It's possible. It totally is possible. Alright. Let's go ahead and go get our fucking horse again. Stupid fucking horse. Alright, there we go. I guess while we're here, let's go ahead and pop this money. Because I'm pretty confident it was either 18 or 19 for the dex requirement for the flail. I'm going to assume 18, and my worst case scenario here is that I don't have quite enough. And I will make up that requirement if need be. Like, it's early enough that that's not an expensive requirement.
It will some torrent treat him with. Share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambition.
There we go. Beautiful torrent. There we go. All right. They're trying to both notice me, but at the same time, not so much. Okay, that was fucking scuffed all the same, but I'm gonna take it because honestly, right now, it's kind of a mood set of we take those. And yeah, we fucking take those. So, yeah. Anyways, daytime. Daytime because we don't want to deal with a Knight's Cav. The Knight's Cav, I don't know, like, the Knight's Cav isn't really, like, horribly dangerous at the end of the day. It's kind of one of those things of, like, the Knight's Cav can absolutely do something horribly scuffed. And if it does do something horribly scuffed, that's the percentage that you want to avoid, I would say. Because the number of times I've had a Knight's Cav, like, hit me on this bridge out of the absolute fucking blue is one too many times, whereas the number of times I've gotten hit by that dismounter gentleman that we just ran past, I mean, shit, I called him a fucking gentleman when, like, literally a Knight's Cav, I consider them bastards. So, like, let that do the speaking for you, you know? It's like, that little bit should pretty much kind of explain my exact viewpoint on that anyways. That was not worth the effort that I put in there. I don't know why I ran through that area that way. That actually was not what I normally do, and why am I doing it this way? This is kind of different. Whatever, you know what? We're already in it at this point. I'm gonna collect the money. Collect the money. Money collected. Beautiful. Like, I think, if I remember correctly, I think my mind was like, hey, this graveyard really isn't as dangerous as I give it credit for. And, like, yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I think in this case I probably should just continue to run it exactly the way that I have been running it, which is to say absolutely scared shitless, because scared shitless is how we avoid getting hits. That would be ideal, at least. So. Alright. Let's go ahead and start heading on down to Fort Height. Fort Height. Wait, wasn't there a, Trina's Lily that I found around here before? I could have sworn it was right around here that I found a Trina's Lily. There it is. Okay, beautiful. I don't really think I need that one, per se, but, like, I mean, I'm not going to deny myself the ability to have another Trina's Lily, because why would I do that? That's a highly useful item. And that goes such a long way in making sure that I don't get fucking clipped out of nowhere, pretty much. So. Didn't mean to do that in that way. What if I... My kukri right there. Shh. I'm a little curious on why that fucking went up and into the sky like that, but sure, okay, whatever you say. I think I'm going to be a little bit less apprehensive to actually using bows, though, too, frankly, because, I don't know, like, I have been apprehensive to using bows here recently, and I kind of realized, why am I apprehensive to using bows when, like, this is a no-hit run, it's not a no-hit, also only certain weapons run. Like, there's no reason for me to be so apprehensive to it. The goal right now is literally just beat the game without getting hit. So, I'm just gonna do that, but I'm not gonna rely on the bow, frankly, because, I don't know, it's kind of one of those things of, like, I just personally don't want to rely on it, I guess. It's good for certain things, it's not good for everything, I guess, is kind of where my head is. So. Alright, there we go, beautiful. Alright. And I know it's a little early, but I think we're going to do Fort Height just a teensy bit early here. Because honestly, I feel relatively comfy with it. And I think in this case, I'm going to do something I haven't really done before. And we're going to see how well it goes, and we're going to hope for the best. Because in theory, a lot of what I have been doing is kind of unnecessary. I prefer it if none of them chase me up here, but we're going to find out exactly what happens here. And aggro was lost. Okay, beautiful. Cool. I don't know if that empties out the fort regardless. I kind of hope it does, but like, I don't know. Maybe it'd still be worth it to get the bleed grease, but I'm also kind of questioning like how many times do I really end up using bleed grease during the run. And at least off of last time, bleed grease, while I did end up using it like a handful of times, it didn't proc super frequently. Not really, at least. In theory, it played a portion of something, but it wasn't enough of something to really be like, oh my god, I really need that to happen. Frankly, honestly, when it comes down to it, I feel more comfortable with the lilies anyways, so I think I'm going to continue lilies. I think I will end up... You know what? Honestly, since I'm right here, I'm just going to go ahead and buy these St. Trina's arrows, because, like, a handful of them could make the difference between whether or not I get an okay cycle against the Godskin duo later on, or not. It's not a guarantee, but, like, I feel personally better about having that guarantee than not having that. So, yeah. Alright. Come through, collect a small pile of money. Extra smithy 2 right here. Alright, there we go. Beautiful. Completely avoid getting damaged. Alright, aggro has been dropped. Now, in theory, I could go back to Fort Height. If I go back to Fort Height, I don't know, like, the bleed grease would be really damn useful. Honestly. The bleed grease would be really fucking useful. But I guess I'm just gonna say no. The Godskins are just bros. Hey Randall, how you doing tonight, buddy? It's good seeing you. Wait, the Godskins are just bros? The Godskins, depending on the context of what bros means to you in this case, because if you mean like the Beanstar, like the Mario Brothers, Beanstars bros, I think I would fully agree with you on that one, because they are in fact bastards. And the number of times that they will just fucking wombo combo you out of the blue with the fucking yippee wahoo fucking sauce, is one too many times, and it is quite frustrating. But if you just mean like that they're brothers, yeah, they work in tandem with each other a little too well. A little too well, frankly. Alright, I don't really care to do the Kenneth Heights side quest, but I'll go ahead and activate the Grace in case I plan to do so. I don't think I do, admittedly. I think it's not really worth my energy. Having the Bleed Grease has been kind of useful, but I can't really say the Bleed Grease has done everything for me, so... Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna ignore the Bleed Grease this run, and I'm just gonna see what happens without it, because, like, other than, like, a handful of situations, and, like, I mean genuinely, like, maybe, like, 2-3 situations max, I don't really think the Bleed Grease has done anything massive for me. Maybe it's slightly pushed the envelope on, like, murdering Gideon Ofnir a little bit faster. But other than that, I can't really say it's done more than that. So, yeah, let's ignore it. Fuck it. Worst case scenario, right? Let's go ahead and... Do I want to go ahead and push Caelid now? Or save Caelid for a little bit later here? Because if we do Caelid right now... Like, we don't really technically... don't benefit. Like, Caelid... We don't do any fighting in Caelid. So we could pretty much just do Caelid whenever, right? Fuck it. I'm gonna do Caelid now. I don't care. It's a little bit of extra money in the grand scheme of things, and I think I'm cool with that, actually. As I said before, the gargoyles do not activate properly whenever you're literally running away from them. Like, I'm not sure why that is, but we do take advantage of that, so. I guess that's kind of the nice thing about playing a no-hit run like this, is that it doesn't really matter what time we come here, because no matter what the time frame is that we come here, it's pretty much always the same circumstance. Like, almost always the same circumstance. Where, if we get hit, it's just GG's, right? Like, that is the through line here. Luckily, that probably... Well, I can't say that was the best RNG ever, but, like, it... I mean, it paid off. It put him on the other side of the bridge, so fucking... I'm not complaining. Not fully, at least. There we go, do some quick swapping. And plus, I think, in this case, this is where we get, like, a meatier chunk of our runes anyways, so... kind of fuck it. It's a little unfortunate a lot of the foliage just kind of falls into the same, like, realm of pricing. I kind of wish things like Fulgur Blooms were worth a lot more, frankly. Because, like, I don't know, it would make for, like, a more interesting early game economy. In order to say, like, hey, the Fulgur Blooms are worth, like, a shit ton, so if you really wanted to, Not even like a shit ton, but like make them worth like, I don't know, 30 a piece or something like that. Instead of every other piece of foliage being worth literally 10, except for like very specifically rare items. It would be nice, in my opinion. So, little unfortunate they never did anything with that, but also at the same time, I mean, massive open world game with beyond expansive gameplay loops. Can I really fucking complain about that? The foliage all costs exactly the same when selling it to merchants who might technically have no interest in that stuff. Yeah, you know what, yeah. I don't think I've earned my right to complain on that one. And there we go, beautiful. Alright, one stone sword key acquired. Alright. Last time I ignored it, but this time I'll go after it because it's like a handful more of dollars at the end of the day. I didn't go down to where the Somber 9 is, and I think I will go ahead and do that because, I mean, the Somber 9s and the Somber 8s do sell for a decent chunk of money. So, why not? Let's go ahead and put Flask right there. Gorgeous. Keep picking up foliage while we're running. There we go. Cool. Alrighty. Nice. A little unfortunate we really don't have, like, a somber weapon on this exact run right now that, like, is enough of a difference maker, but also at the same time, I think based off of what we got out of Balls and out of this Y-hander, I really don't think we need to think about it as much. Not in all seriousness. Like, I think we have more than enough. So, I don't know if we really need this Grace, because I got it last time and I didn't really need it. We didn't really do anything with it either. But we're gonna get it for now, and why not? So. Alright, break the skull. Alright. Probably gonna need to set the Grace here on this one because I felt like one of those dogs spotted me. I felt like they did, at least. So, let's just do it real quickly. Be safe. Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot that triggers Melina. My bad. Early round table.
To determine if you had... It seems torrent, whereas there is, but I can take gathering place. Very let my hand.
Okay, cool. We might end up going down and taking the rat trap as well. Because the rat trap... I mean, the rat trap isn't, like, stupidly valuable. But, like, it does have relative value to us. So, maybe we end up doing that. We'll see. It does put us down closer at the beach. And save for having to be stealthy and getting out of the cave system there. Maybe it's just safer, frankly, to do what I already know how to do. Because, honestly, getting tickled by one of the other pests would probably be pretty bad, grand scheme of things. Yeah, okay. Alright. Convince myself on that one.
What has been a... How can I?
Alright, let's go ahead and I think in this case... 1,200. I think it's 1,200 that we need, roughly. Alright, Beast Torch. Beautiful.
Nervous?
Alright, back to Fort Faroth. Let's go ahead and wrap up Fort Faroth right now. So something I've ignored doing here a couple times here now is I've ignored doing the what you call it? I've ignored doing the fuck, my brain is blanking here. Radagon Sword Seal. I've ignored doing that. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do it this time, because Radagon Sword Seal is, in all seriousness, it's a really good seal. It's literally +5 in all of your physical stats. Literally just don't take damage, and it doesn't matter, which, in our case, we technically shouldn't be taking damage in the first place. So, yeah, that works out. Plus, on top of that, right over here, Gold Rune, an extra 12k right there. Or not 12k, but like 12, plus 12 rune right there. And then we pretty much, okay, didn't mean a flask there on accident, that's my bad. But yeah, we just grace out, and we would lose, what, 98 souls? That's not bad. 98 runes, whoops. So, yeah, we just got a shit ton of stats, literally just for running through that area. And we don't have to do anything about it. Like, technically speaking, if I just went and got that, I wouldn't need the dex requirement to even meet the flail at that point. So we could technically just ignore that, right? So, maybe, potentially maybe, I just do that in the future here. As a better backup plan to what I've been doing. Let's go ahead and make our way over to Cragblade, I guess, because I'm in the area, and I might as well since I'm already fucking around, more or less. Especially considering, like, we don't really spend a whole lot of time up here, or fuck around with anything, like, particularly scary. We literally just make our way downtown, walking fast, eat some ass, and we're homebound. So, let's just do that. Let's just do that real quickly. Like, it's not technically going to cost us that much time. So, yeah. There we go. Rooftop that we need. It's kind of funny when you get to these points, too. Because, like, don't get me wrong, that jump right there is still relatively scary. It hasn't stopped being scary. It's more so just a matter of, in this case, I would say, that you stop being as scared of it because you've done it enough times that it just starts working its way into your brain, that you just know, okay, well, just literally, this is how the jump works. Just do it this way every time, and you're good to go. You're cooking, right? And I don't know, like, that's kind of one of those fun things, I guess, about, like, doing anything like this, is that it goes from being, like, very scary to being not nearly as scary every single time you're doing it. Same way that it was for the no-death runs. Because, like, honestly, at this point, I can think of no-death runs and the number of times I have done them. And that's a lot of dragonflies. Just the sheer number of times that I have done them. And, like, at this point in time, I don't really fear doing them as much anymore. Because, like, if I die on them, it sucks, sure, yeah. But, like, it's way less of being scared or anything like that, and more just, like, general excitement on how close I'm getting to an actual victory, right? So, I kind of wanted to give myself a little bit more, comically enough, of that fear again, because I do kind of enjoy it for all it's worth. Being scared or being, like, a little bit anxious of something, especially in a game like this, is, like, unironically, it's kind of a lot of fun. You have to kind of, like, balance yourself out. You have to figure out, like, hey, okay, how close am I to really doing this? Am I on pace? Am I making the right moves here? Has all of my actions lined up correctly? Is this boss something that I really truly know, or is this more like, hey, I know this boss, but if it gets this attack off, am I gimmicked? It's fun. It's a fun learning curve, honestly. I don't have both my tiers that I actually need yet for this, but I'll go ahead and put the one in for now, just in case I forget to do the other one for some reason. Our first boss isn't going to be for some while anyways, so we have time, frankly. We have time. I'm also questioning right now on whether or not I end up doing... You know what? Nah, there's no reason for me not to do it. Also, I kind of just realized the other day that I normally run through this area without taking a single hit, regardless. Because I normally run through this area a shit ton during my, my randomizer no deaths. And I don't know why I started changing the formula around it. Just purely, I think it was, in this case, like, just general nerves and tension. The same thing I felt about, Fort Height, I guess. Fort Height, though, the circumstance, I think, is different. Because Fort Height, I normally try to fight the knight at the very top and murder him. And that can go pretty poorly if you don't know what you're doing. So, yeah. That one I did have to take, like, a little bit more respect for just because of the situation. But otherwise, I mean, it's really not that bad. I prefer this guy. Okay, well, that's fine. Surely that's fine. I was incorrect. It's not fine, actually. It turns out it was so not fine. It was actually legitimately so not fine. I should have found a way to trigger them all. Admittedly, my problem here is that I sat at this grace before letting them all do their little dance, their little fight there. So sitting at this grace reset all of their positions when they were already in the middle of fighting like this, and that's where I fucked up. That was my fuck up there. Luckily, I didn't get punished for it, but still, that was definitely the mistake of it. So... let's start making our way into Weeping. Let's start making our way into Weeping so we can go ahead and get our location, in this case, for our Zweihander. And likewise, we can also go ahead and get the location for the duplication of a Remembrance Soul. Because I am gonna probably end up duping one Remembrance on this run. Just cause, like, it's usually worth a good amount of money, so. We shouldn't need the torch at all anymore, / ever. Alright, more stones, another stone sword, I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go. Shouldn't need that grace in particular, it's not really a good grace in the... anyways. So. I don't really need most, if not anything here. Really, the one item we do need is going to be right here. There we go. Cool. Couple more items to pick up along the way. Go ahead and get this grace real quickly. This will be our main source of kukri for the entire run. Last time, I know that we actually didn't end up getting the turtle shield, if I'm not mistaken. Because I don't think we ended up equipping it properly for the last run, so. Well, I could sell off some shit right now. I think I'm gonna resist the urge to sell off too much for the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna resist the urge to sell off too much. Instead, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy a couple more stones. Yeah, we're gonna buy just a couple more stones here. And then the rest goes into kukri. There we go. Cool. And I think other than that, we're essentially good to go for right now. So, we might end up going after the turtle shield. We might. It's not a bad get at all. It's really not. But I don't really think it's a priority for all it's worth. So, there's that. Right, usually speaking, these dogs don't activate nearly fast enough for them to be an issue for me. Last time I think I ran through this area, I did go low. And I think in this case, I'm just going to go high again. Because honestly, other than this one bridge guard, this isn't really a scary little... This isn't a scary bridge, frankly. Luckily, the enemy right behind us doesn't have a throwable. So, yeah, we should be fine here. And these guardians aren't really that dangerous. Again, they lack anything ranged, so... Well, something died for me. That was nice. Alright. +1 on our Crimson tiers. We'll probably get at most up to like a Crimson +3, Crimson +4. We don't really need a lot in terms of tiers, obviously. But it is nice to have it purely because Blue Flask is more important than I normally give credit for. I think there is a pile of bleed grease over here, if I'm not mistaken. That's not the bleed grease. This might be the bleed grease. There it is. Okay, beautiful. It's 2 bleed grease, which is not a lot. But 2 bleed grease might just be enough for the run. So you know what? Actually, maybe we'll try this. We'll try this. We're gonna try ignoring having more than 2 bleed grease for the entire run. Because as far as it stands, there's really only Gideon, and there's maybe Bernal. Those are like the 2 I would say bleed grease would be like ideal for. More or less. Alright, one more Sacred Tier. That's +3 on Sacred Tiers right now. Overall should be enough. More row of fruit stuff. Alright, we do probably want to upgrade the flail one time. Oh, wait, you know what? Actually, Bernal, I might not bleed grease, but I might actually bleed grease for what's his face, for Mr. Big Balls. I think that's where we end up bleed greasing. Yeah, I think in this case we actually use the bleed grease for Mr. Big Balls. So, all right, go ahead and put that in there. Beautiful.
It's been a how can I?
I think right now, with as much money as we do have, I'm gonna go ahead and sell off that big rune, and I'm gonna go ahead and buy up pretty much the 2 items that we really want off of this merchant. 2 stone sword keys. There was one more circumstance where I thought I needed a stone sword key. I might just save this merchant for if we run into that circumstance, but I can't quite remember what it was specifically that I wanted that for. So I think I'm going to hold off on doing that. Let's go ahead and head back to Kale. We're going to head back to Kale, go ahead and talk to Ronnie. We don't need Ronnie by any measure, obviously. Like, this is... I'm not using summons for this run. Haven't been using it anyways. But she just shows up sometimes.
Forgive mine intrusion.
Bye! Alright. There we go. Still kind of questionable whether or not I need the +1 on this. Maybe I'll test that out at some point here, but I don't know. It makes me feel like slightly better having +1'd the flail here, as opposed to just leaving it completely alone. But while I'm thinking about it, I think while I have the money that I have here, I'm just going to go ahead and buy that crafting kit. And I think I will buy this recipe because last time we did end up killing the... it was a bit late game, but we ended up killing the Deathrite bird that gives you the red feather branch. So maybe we'll end up doing that. In all seriousness, maybe that'll end up happening for the run. Sell off a little bit of our money, 8k in pocket. Zweihander, we can get up to a +2. I need, in this case, 3 more stones, which we can go down to the beach merchant and get that, and get our +3 on the Zwei. But we'll have other ways of doing that anyways, so it's not that deep. Alright, in this case, I think for the most part, we just want strength. Currently, at least. Mainly just strength. And I guess while I'm thinking about it, I will go down to the beach merchant and go get those extra stones, because I think they're slightly cheaper from the beach merchant, as opposed to going the other way, or buying them from the Twin Finger Maidens. So we'll do that, we'll be good to go, and then we'll start heading into Liurnia, and in theory, once we're done in Liurnia, well, we're pretty much... like, we're close to where we need to be, I guess. We could pretty much, like, keep prepping for a while, and we might very well do so, but... There we go. There we go. There's every stone that I need in this case, and I think in this case he doesn't sell anything else worth our time.
Done? Well.
Yep, perfect. Okay, cool. Alright, let's start heading towards, Liurnia. We also need to cover the second half of our visit here. Okay. So in this case, normally what I do here is I start from over here now at this point. I haven't tried just running through the gate. And to be fair, I normally make a pretty big and stupid fucking mistake while I'm here, in that I choose to always go after a very small pile of runes whenever I'm here. Call it a bad habit that I got out of the randomizers, more or less, but ooh, shiny, every pickup. Yeah, it's definitely something that I do. Or I have done in the past. I guess that'd be fair, that would have been my final 3 that I needed for this Y. Oh well, choice is made. Alright, that is a stone sword key. Funny enough, I think that stone sword key actually puts us ahead of what we need, so we can actually go and get the green turtle talisman, ultimately, if we wanted to. We can get that, and then we can also still end up with... I was thinking we end up going and getting the heavy sword wet blade, or the heavy infused wet blade, because, like, it is damn useful to have heavy infusement if you have it available to you. So, it might end up being something we do. We'll see. Alright, let's go ahead and get this Grace over here. We don't have what we need yet to kill Bernal. Bernal's a little too tanky for us, and I think he can armor right through the mace, so I'm going to ignore him in favor of going after Golden Vow. Yeah, we're going to go after Golden Vow right now, and then after we're done with Golden Vow, then we'll just go ahead and wrap up more or less what we need to in Limgrave. He tried to buff, dumbass. No buffing on my watch. I don't really know if I got away with things there when it came to that giant, but I'm willing to assume that I did ever so slightly get away with things there. That being said, I think in the future, I'm gonna probably still assume that it's dangerous for me to handle things that way. But maybe instead of saying, hey, why don't I wait to go through that area, I'm gonna say, why don't I go through that area first? Because if I start a run and I die there immediately, it's like, okay, what, like 5-10 minutes has passed most? Really, like, I think like only like 5 minutes has passed at that point. So I'm not really losing out on a lot if I just run through there and get my shit rocked. But if I end up getting through there and I don't get my shit rocked, then I get access to a lot more of Limgrave in a much faster manner. So I think it ultimately will pay off if I do things that way. Alright, I don't think this merchant's selling anything else really worth my time, but... Yeah, you know what? No. I really can't say anything else here is worth my time. So I'm just going to take that single smithy stone and leave it at that. And let's go get the grace that's closer to the beach merchant. Or not the beach merchant, but closer to Kaled in this case. I think from here. We can probably just take this grace, leave it alone as is, and start working our way over towards Liurnia. Because admittedly, from here, the only things of like absolutely required material, in this case, is the green turtle talisman, and then there's one more graveyard over here that's a bunch of runes that, like, I don't believe they're super high value, but it in theory could be worth something. So. Let's, real quickly, though. Do I have a secondary weapon here that I could do it with? I mean, I guess in theory I'm not going to be using the Uchi for anything else right now, so we'll take the Uchi and turn the Uchi into our Golden Vow weapon, I think, is what we're going to do. But we'll worry about that once we're a little bit closer. Because at that point, then I'll have to go and visit Hugh to do that. Admittedly, though, too, I might just end up at that point in time saving that. I don't know if I took, like, the ideal path here for that, but it was nighttime, which I think last time I explained why nighttime is a bad time to do that, so... Alright, 9-hole kukri. I wonder if nighttime also affects the animals' wake. Like, whether or not they're awake or not. Because if it does affect whether or not they're awake, that actually would be relatively important. That's something I'm unsure of, admittedly. Last time, that wolf to the right there almost got a clip on me. Let's see. There we go. Alrighty, good stuff. Okay, there we go. I'm sorry, Red Shanks. Give me just a second here to read your messages, boss. You're giving away half of your gear to people? Well, first and foremost, welcome to the chat, Red Shanks. Hope you're doing well tonight. Secondly, giving away your gear, do you, like, in this case, like, do you mean, like, what systems are we playing on? Or what system am I playing on? Well, I'm playing currently on PC, so admittedly, in this case, if it's, like, you're looking to give away, like, in-game stuff, it would be a little hard to do that, because I don't think crossplay exists for, PC and PS5. Either way, though, I definitely wish you the best of luck on that adventure. Welcome to the chat, nevertheless. Well, we don't need more of those, but we do need more of those. Okay, cool. Keep this in mind just in case I want more smithy ones. But honestly, as it stands right now, I don't really need them. Like, we have enough, and pretty much until we need to worry... Well, actually, no, because even with the balls, like, we have more than enough for the balls right now, so we don't really need more, in theory. And in all seriousness, I'll probably end up upgrading the balls to +3, and after the balls are done... admittedly, Shanks, I don't really need gear. Likewise, we're currently playing with a challenge run in mind. While I really appreciate the offer, for sure, yeah, we're doing a challenge run, boss. So in this case, like, everything that we're doing right now, like, no external factors are meant to be, you know, affecting it. Likewise, I don't think anybody in the Discord right now needs any sort of, like, major drops or anything right now. I'm trying to think of it, actually. I'm trying to think if there's any players in there that need it. I'm gonna assume probably not, but, like, either way, I mean, like, it's definitely, that's a very generous offer. I think in this case... Okay, so I need to go ahead and start making my way over towards Mr. Big Balls himself. Once we're done at Big Balls, we can go ahead and pretty much just... I think actually at this point, we're looking really good in terms of, like, distance covered and shit. Ignore that crab, because that crab is sitting exactly where we don't want him to be, naturally. See here. Alright. Aggro was lost. I should have had this map marked, or the map marker location marked to begin with, but I think I've started to get comfortable enough with this run. It's really not that complicated of a run, obviously, in Liurnia. It's one of those things of, like, if you don't know specifically where it is, I think Liurnia is probably one of those, like, most difficult first locations to come to because of how the overall map feels. Not to say that a lot of it feels samey, but, like, a lot of it can feel very, like, easy to get lost in, I think. Likewise, areas like literally going over to Braugert and going over to Raya especially. Raya is one where literally if she didn't cry out for people, you would not know she's there, which I guess it's good that she does. So alright, there we go. We got our balls. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of Braugert right now. Let's go ahead and take care of Mr. Big Balls himself. Alright, let's go ahead and equip flail. Go, Ashes of War. Change the sun into that. Wonderful. Alright, let's go ahead and murder, let's go and murder Mr. Big Balls. Did I already adjust my flask? I think I did. Totally a chance I didn't, though. Yep, okay. I don't really need to do as much as I'm doing here, but, like, it's just enough to make it safer to do this. Like, there's a really strong chance that we don't have that fail right there, but I would much rather not have it fail at all. Because now we just have the balls, and we don't have to think about it that hard, and that's really good, right? So, balls in our offhand, Uchi in our off, or our main hand, there we go. Alright, we're going to go ahead and level up our balls just a teensy bit here. And then we're going to go ahead and go deal with the cave that gets us the bell bearing. This is looking good, though. This is actually looking, overall, I think, pretty damn good right now. There we go, +3 on our balls. I'm not going to take it more than that because, well, No, actually, you know what? I'm saving it for the Zwei. The Zwei is what we're going to definitely be upgrading a lot more. The balls are kind of our secondary weapon. They are meant purely to kind of cover the situations that the Zwei just kind of isn't going to do nearly as well, right? That's pretty much the idea there. Heavy balls, gorgeous, and I think we're pretty much good to go. Alright, so if we go from this grace, which kind of sucks, but also at the same time, it's what we have. You know what? Let me actually wrap up this questline first, because I don't want this to go on deaf ears. I need to make sure that Raya's questline gets pushed to the envelope, at least. Otherwise, we're kind of missing out, and I should not be doing that. So, once we're done with that, though, then we can go ahead and go take care of getting everything up to +6. This is also essentially the grace that we're going to be using if we end up going after Red Feathered Branch. And, like, for all intents and purposes, Red Feathered Branch might actually do a lot of work. So. I really don't know how that happened there, but I definitely got, like, lost for, like, 2 seconds, which was great.
Hello? It's rather my mistress. I was a... Could I ask that thug only if you've... Oh, to bless a thug, please. Please.
The fleas.
Oh, yeah, thank you, kind. Did I forget? I see you are very to steady such, please.
There we go.
Buenos time. You are the volcano.
Beautiful. Okay, cool. Alright, with that achieved, I guess in theory we could technically go from Boil Prawn and go all the way over here. I guess in theory we could do that, right? I don't exactly like that idea, but at the same time, that might technically... Like, normally there's just... You know what? I don't know why I'm being so scared of the jump that's over here. There's a jump that's literally right here that's very easy. I don't know why, like, doing no hit has made me scared of it. Because it's not even that scary. It's literally just yump, yump. And you just do that, and that's it. That's all there is to it. Like, it's that fucking easy. I don't know why I suddenly got scared of it, frankly. I guess it's just one of those general things of like, oh, well, it's a scary jump because it's a scary jump. Go, go, go. Okay, admittedly, maybe that pickup is a little bit too risky for the biscuit. Because now there's a whole lot of projectiles heading my way. And surely they don't range me from this distance, surely, right? I wouldn't be surprised. It's Elden Ring. Sometimes the projectiles outrange you. Sometimes they fucking just sit right in front of your face. Alright, before I go further that way, I do want to go over here and get the grace that's over here. I don't see myself doing a whole lot more on this lake, admittedly, but it's still nice to get the grace just in case I decide to goof around. Likewise, there's a skull right here, and I would like that money. So, I might be back here for this dragon, too. I think it's like 8,500 for this dragon, roughly. So, yeah. Alright, go over this way. Up and onto this rock. Kukri. Academy Glintstone. We go ahead and hop around the rock before the dragon even has a chance to notice us proper. And we're on our way. Beautiful. Good stuff. Okay. Alright, so the pickup here is a little dangerous, I'm not gonna lie. This is just kind of a stupid pickup. Like, I really shouldn't have even gone for that pickup, in all seriousness. But, we're here now, and we did it. So, yeah. Like, we don't even really technically need +3s, in all seriousness. It's just kind of, like, a little bit of supplementing for our cash. Did not mean to shoot that guy. That was, unfortunate. A mistake, surely I shouldn't have made. Luckily, though, the enemy I shot wasn't an actual risk. Otherwise, that would have just been a little sad. Alright, before I start popping all of these guys, surely if I do it from over here first... Go. There we go. There we go. Cool. Plentiful amounts of money. Alright, we never run right through the King's Realm ruins, we simply run around the side of it. Because while it's not really that dangerous, there's just enough shenanigans that occur there, where sometimes you get shot once or twice, and yeah, that's really it. That's literally it. You just don't run the odds of getting shot once or twice. Alright. Trying to think of our next step here. Alright, balls are already where we need them to be, more or less. Okay, that's what our next step was. Next step at this point is pretty much heading back over this way and going that way. And this time I will actually start from the Academy Gate Town, because the other side, the jump, I have done it before. But again, it's one of those... Well, that one in particular is a genuinely more dangerous jump, because if you fuck it up, you just die. Instead of just taking fall damage. Both sides you can die for it, but like that one is way more risky. So, yeah. That's really it. That's all the logic needed. Tree. Alright, now we can start making our way on down towards the Crystallian Cave. Go ahead and get that. Get a couple more stones while we're in there. And then once, hopefully, once we're out of there, we can just go ahead and move right along to... I guess in this case we'd be going off to Altus Plateau next, in this case. Because we already have both stones. We already have both Dectasalves. I took a fucking dangerous route. That was a very dangerous route, what the fuck. The Jelly Bellies are not, like, horrifyingly terrifying by any measure. It's just one of those things of, there's a lot of them there, and the few that aggro can sometimes shoot you very quickly. So, there's that. God, I have been... I can't complain, though. I can't complain. This has been mostly good. Mostly good so far. I don't think stealth strats are... Well, I say stealth strats. The stealth strats have relative value here for sure. I think we're pretty much good to go when it comes to this area, though. Cragblade, well, balls in general are just really fucking good for this area. So, there's, like, no questioning that, even. Pretty confident that without any stealth, Old Man could spot me relatively quickly. Alright, there we go. I'm not even really doing this for anything, like, major. Actually, like, legitimately nothing major. In this case, these somber stones will more or less just kind of, like, be that small pile of money if I need more money. Is kind of really what they come down to, position-wise. Thing is I don't even waste a lot of time here, like, getting a shit ton of stones. I just get a handful more extra stones because I can. And, like, I figure if I'm in the area and these guys are worth 155 apiece and I can murder them in reasonable succession, then why would I just not do that? Alright, beat that old man to death. Beautiful. Another Smithy 3. He's not guarding anything of actual value to me. We'll take this item. Alright, that old man isn't really a threat to me, nor is that one. Okay, cool. There we go. Yoink. Slip and slide on banana peel. Walk right off right here. I'm actually surprised that there is no fall damage right there. Took me a while to accept the fact that you don't take fall damage for that one. Alright. Triggered only that old man. Run on in there. Beat his cheeks senseless. Luckily, that only triggers the one old man instead of both old men. So we just go ahead and 2-for-1 old man Yowie special on that one. And we get a couple extra stones out of it. Beautiful. Okay, so this one has fucked me up before. Oh, you motherfucker, you. This motherfucker. Alright, no one saw that. Actually, everybody fucking saw that. God damn it. God damn it. That's... Funny enough, it's literally almost exactly the same scenario as last time. Just the same, like, actually legitimately the same fucking scenario. And that's the funny part. That's such a stupid fucking hit to take. Like, I knew... Funny enough, I could have activated the elevator too, and, like, it wouldn't have really saved me much time, but, like, oh well, whatever. God damn it. It just feels dumb that, like, that's not even really, like, a reasonable thing that I took a hit on. It's more like I just fucked up in such a stupid way. That otherwise it should have really never happened. Oh well, whatever. We're back more or less to exactly where we were. Alright, surely this kukri activates both of them. It does. Beautiful. Alright, so normally what you should, in theory, do is just activate the Jordans and just fucking run. And don't even, like, take a break here, because taking a break is incredibly stupid. No, you just Jordans all the way through. It's really crazy just how easily you get through that area if you just put on your Jordans. And I don't know why I have to remind myself of that lesson, but apparently I do. So. Anyways. Flask. Oh, free money. Nice. Golden Vow. Crag on my balls. And away we go. Beautiful. Crystallion time. He tried to fucking shoulder butt me, and that would have been unfortunate. Alright, little bit of extra money. Okay, cool. Alright, we have that. Good. Now let's go ahead and get ourselves on up to Altus. Actually, I am going to step away for just a second here, folks. So enjoy this gorgeous skylight here, and I will be right back. Alright? Alrighty. There we go, folks. Thank you for waiting. Alright. So, let's go ahead on into Altus. Get what we need out of Altus. And in theory, before the next half an hour, roughly, we should be at our very first major boss. Pretty much, at least at that point. I will need this grace because I am going to be coming back here. I'm going to real quickly make sure that it's daytime, though. I do not want to risk it potentially being a night's cav. And that doesn't really feel like daytime, does it? Yeah, admittedly, this looks like the exact opposite of daytime, in all seriousness. Okay, yeah, sure, whatever, game. Alright, we already had a +4 on our flask upgrades, but I'll go ahead and I guess head over this way just because I can and get the +5. Like, we really don't need it, but fuck it, we're here. Alrighty, we're gonna head up this hill, take what we got, head up to the Altus Plateau, and more or less, I think we're on track to get our early Bernal Assassin's Gambit. Now that I understand properly on how Raya spawn works, I can actually, like, make sure that I can get it one way or another. So, that's the good news. That actually is really, really solid news for all it's worth. Probably still a little bit below in terms of total money, but I think something that we could end up doing too is, I don't know, like, the balls, we could maybe rely a little bit more heavily on the balls a little early on, because the balls can do a lot of work. Personally, I don't mind just kind of looking at my Zweihander and just saying, fuck it, we do Zweihander strats. Because, like, the Zweihander does a lot of work, so. Alright, in theory, Raya should be right at the top up here, or she'll be over in the other location. And Raya's right there. Perfect. Okay, cool. Alright, awesome. That actually is exactly what I wanted to see in the first place, so good news on that one. This grace. Alright. And let's go ahead and start making our way over towards the Smithy 3-4 bell bearing. We're doing good, though. All things considered, we're doing actually pretty good. Zweihander, obviously, we haven't really gotten that online yet. We'll eventually get to that point for sure, but it's gonna be a little bit before that really happens, admittedly. In terms of like overall weaponry, though, once we do have the Zweihander, at least up to a +12. +12 Zweihander, we can probably say that's a good starting point to start just knocking out bosses. And really, with a +12 Zweihander, we'll probably start getting up to +15 before long, because there's 2-3 cave systems here in this area that'll pretty much just give us exactly what we need. So, in reality, we'll pretty much kind of, like, start knocking out bosses at a very fast pace once setup is done. Like, unironically, like, that really is just kind of what happens. Not actually sure why I said unironically there for that one. There's nothing unironic about what I just said in this case. Consider that a flounder on my part. Absolute flub. Oh, I have never seen this guy get this close to this fucking Grace. Luckily he teleported away. Otherwise, that would have been actually concerning. He does not get that close to that Grace, like, ever. We'll probably be swapping out the Uchi soon enough here, too. Because the Uchi, in this case, is really just a placeholder for our Golden Vow weapon until we can go get a dagger, good and proper. And then, likewise, we'll also probably be picking up the Rapier, more than likely soon enough. Because the Rapier will be our stealth Ash of War weapon. So, that's roughly the rundown of kind of what we're looking at inventory-wise. Not all of that is going to be in our inventory at the same time, but a lot of it does kind of play off of each other, so, yeah. I don't really need to, but I will anyways. Golden Vow. Dirty my balls. If this guy right here happens to drop us a +5 stone, then why not? Plus also 2 taps from our balls is enough to murder him. So yeah, it kind of just works out. A little bit of extra money. There we go. Not a single one of them decided to give me another Smithy 5. This is understandable. This guy might not die from this hit. Never mind. He will fucking die. Alright, there we go. Smithy Stone Bell Bearing 2. And let's get out of here before we run into a situation that otherwise gets us hit again. Because I don't fucking need that. I really don't need that, actually. Alright, cool. Alright, that's everything up to +5 then for, or up to +6 for our Zweihander now at this point. So Zweihander can go ahead and go in our inventory. I don't think we have... No, we don't, apparently. Damn, the Zwei is a little bit heavy overall, but that's okay. That's alright. We'll make it work. There we go. Cool. And with our extra stone pickups, that'll help kind of supplement the cost of what we need to for the Zweihander. So, that's good news. Actually, shit, we can already almost get this up to a +9. Which is not too shabby at all. I don't know where we could go get a handful more of +3s at this point, but that's okay. We can leave it as is. We're not really that desperate for that, because in this case, honestly, if we can get up to a +9 or +10, which +10 is definitely possible, we're already kind of cooking at that point when it comes to Margit. So... Alright, we do need the dagger, and... Here's the thing. Scimitar, I think I'm going to buy the Scimitar because it is cheaper. By enough of an amount. The Rapier is definitely lighter, but the Scimitar does the same job, but for 400 less. And I don't plan on having my stealth weapon in my inventory at the same time that I have my... normal weapons in my inventory. So that should not be happening. I need 4 more of these. 6. We have 15 of those. We're good to go there. I need 2 more of these. And then I just need more Smithy 4s in general. Alright, 2,000 apiece here. I'm going to probably need all of them, admittedly, because as it stands right now, we need a lot. So there we go. Cool. Let's go ahead and see how far that takes us in terms of getting ours Y leveled up. Either way, I mean, we have probably enough money to get a lot more done right now, so that's good news. Alright, that's +8. That might get us maybe another level or two. Yeah, okay. It's +10. We could, I don't know, we could maybe go fight something else, in theory, to get that little bit of extra money to cover the cost here on this Y. I could also just kind of leave it as is and just see what happens. But, I don't know, part of me does kind of want to make it happen, so... Yeah, the cost on this Y definitely starts getting pretty high here. It's a little unfortunate, but same time, it's kind of what you have to work with, so. There we go. Let me swap that off into the dagger. So I did forget to do that. Actually, you know what? I know exactly what we're gonna do, because I already thought about this in advance. There we go. Do that. Then we'll head over here. And we have to go get Giant's Hunt anyways, because Giant's Hunt will be important later on in this run. There we go. Flask is already set up as it needs to be. I like it charges, so that way I have 2 of those. Beautiful. I don't have a bow in the offhand. That's okay, because I do have Kukri just ready and available. Alright, so something I didn't bother trying last time that I frankly probably should have tried. This is probably a good enough spot. Okay, never mind. I was kind of wrong about it. Oh, what the fuck is he doing? Okay. Either way, you saw the idea there. Unfortunately... Yeah, fair enough. This is kind of why we do what we do. To try and make sure that shit like this doesn't happen when you're dealing with a fucking Black Knight. Please stop running around. Awesome. Thank you very much for the free hit. And funny enough, it's pretty much exactly the same scenario that happened last time, more or less, with the Black Knight. And, like, this is more or less kind of why I was trying to do what I was trying to do there. Because, like, it's very fitting for the Black Knights, the Cavalry, in this case, the Knights Cavalries, to always do this shit, more or less. Where they're always going to have some sort of, like, super gimmicky attack, or otherwise something that would, like, just fuck you up because, well, you fucking should have planned better. I guess. Kind of what comes down to a lot of the time. That being said, I might end up testing that one out a little bit further myself in my off time here. And pretty much just seeing, like, hey, is there a way for me to improve that scenario there a little bit further? Because, like, it's not an issue of the weapon, I would say. It's purely, in this case, I think, just an issue of the general scenario that we just went through. Okay, we don't have enough stones at this point. We're now looking at the Smithy 5s. That being said, we could go get Smithy 5s, actually, because that's not impossible. And actually, along the way, we could go deal with Maggie. Or Gillica. Gillica's not bad, actually. Gillica's really, really not that bad. So let's go see how plus 12 does against Gillica. Fuck it. It shouldn't, in theory, be a bad time. Especially considering, like, our weapon's really damn strong just off of rip. And, like, everything else, like, should be fitting around that, so. Alright, Chug Flask. Golden Bow. Go ahead and crack my blade. Beautiful. Okay. Run on in. Hit her with the big meaty pokers. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, easy. Okay, not even a problem. Free 8,500 right there, just for fighting the boss. And on top of that, 10% talisman. So, not bad. And then once we're done over there, we can just hop right down over here. Hop over the ledge. I don't really need this golden seed, but I'll go ahead and take it anyways. And just in case, I'm gonna get this grace, just in case, Raya suddenly disappears from where I expect her to be. Because that did happen to me before, and actually it happened last run. And it was quite frustrating, because I had no idea that she could choose to be over there. Even though I went up the entirely, like, I went up the same route you all saw me take this last time. But I don't know, in this case, because I had already run through Altus Plateau, she decided to teleport and appear on the other side of it. On that side of it, and I don't know. It was frustrating, to say the least. In the instant that it happened, it was not very cash money. So... I don't think in this case any of these troll giants or anything like this really present much of an issue. Alright, that's 2 stone sword keys down the drain. Do I have any more, actually? I do have 1 more. Thing is like a crag blade Zweihander isn't really ideal for the stones, but also at the same time it's not really that bad because I mean it's a plus 12 Zweihander. It's kind of hard to hate that weapon. I am so confused on how he didn't aggro to the thing that I just threw, but Try that again. Excuse me? Okay, so this guy just fucking says, I don't fucking care. Little annoyed by that fact. Man, that was really cool. I like the fact that I got hit by a fucking dog that should have never even aggroed to me in the first place. Really solid. Thank you, game. God damn it. That's fucking that's fucking annoying. Sometimes the stealth strats just don't work in the way that you would expect them to. Sure, yeah, okay. Man, that was so cool. Thank you, game. Wow, that was really cool. I like the part where I fucking got shit on. Oh, that was awesome. That was really cool. Nice. That was so cool. Actually, like, instead of it working the way that one would expect it to work, get fucked. Get bent over and fucked at the same time. Fuck that guy. And surely me just running around him and ignoring him will go exactly the way that it should. See, it's funny. You'd expect the barrels there to explode whatever dog was in that building. But apparently no. Not so much. Admittedly, my aggressive strats seem to work weirdly better at times. And I don't quite appreciate the fact that that is the case. But I do have to accept that that is the case sometimes. So, yeah. I think there's a... Yeah, I was gonna say a somber stone back there. Alright, note to self. The caves are presenting themselves... The caves could be going a little bit better. Grand scheme of things. I don't really want to crag for this, but same time... Like, it might just have to be one of those situations where I crag for it. Because, like, the cragging does do work, for sure. Alright, nothing over there. Alright, there's a dog in the corner and a man on the other side. Man, that was so cool. Nice. I love 3 free hits. So yeah, the caves are gonna need some work. Likewise, I could also just say, hey, fuck it, what if I ignore it? And just see what a plus 12 can do. I guess to be fair, that also is an option. Grand scheme of things. Likewise, what if I... Dagger in the corner. Okay, stab that dog. I was gonna say, it would be a little annoying if that guy didn't blow up his own barrels. Okay, he gave me a free smithy out of it, so I guess it counts for something. Alright, we're up to 6. That is up to a plus 14 at that point. We need a little bit more to make the plus 15 happen. At this point, technically speaking, it would be better if I didn't have any money here. But because I do, I actually want to hold on to that money. So there's that. Wait for the aggro to swap. No. Go into the hole. Go into the hole, sir. Take that. This fucking asshole is being an asshole. Of course he is. Okay, alright. You all are annoying me. See, what's really annoying about that one is that I was doing the correct thing with the stealth strats. It's just the one jackass in the back just decided that he was going to play a different game, I guess. And unfortunately, I kind of have to run back in because that's 16k on the floor. And it's like, I can't exactly ignore 16k. Grab ladder, you son of a bitch. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie and say that that went well at all, because, like, yeah, the fucking hit counter, I think, talks for itself right now. Yeah. Oh well. Like, honestly, like, it sucks, obviously, but at the same time, you know, you do what you can on these things. There we go. Okay. Alright, I think we're going to take it up to the plus 14 that we have it at right now. And maybe we might go and dedicate time and get the plus 15.
Well,
it would technically be easier to go and get the plus 15 at a different cave system, for all it's worth. Just because it has more Smithy 5s at that point. And that rate, we would technically be able to do that a little bit easier. Still, plus 14 overall looking pretty good. There we go. Cool. The only other thing that we're kind of missing right now, as far as our inventory is concerned, is we are missing Flame Grant Me Strength. Which I could probably go get that right now, I guess. But we're not going to be able to use it until we actually get the stats required. So, while we can, it's not going to really be useful for the moment. Still doesn't hurt to get it. And likewise, we also probably need to go and murder Bernie here soon. Because Bernie is our easy access to getting Assassin's Gambit. And Assassin's Gambit is going to be really useful throughout most of this run. Okay. Let's make our way over to Everjail. Or Fort Jail, my bad. we'll make our way to Fort Jail. Once we're done at Fort Jail, then at that point, I think we're essentially there. Like, in all seriousness, that's pretty much like the last major stop that I want to make before we actually start knocking out one of the first bosses. And pretty much once we're knocking out the first boss, we're pretty much on a boss rush at that point. So we go from Margit into Godric into probably Radahn at that point. Once we're done with Radahn, then we go right on into everything in Altus that matters. So it's a lot of setup before you do just a shit ton of knocking out, pretty much. Last time I didn't end up using it, but I will kind of consider this time on whether or not I actually want to properly use what you call it here, Flame of the Redmans. Before I do Flame Grant Me Strength, I should probably go and murder Bernal. Probably. So real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and swap Cragblade on into Giant's Hunt, because it makes it slightly easier to murder the shit out of him. Actually, overall... Never mind. No, the damage is definitely better off of quality. There we go. And back to Bernie Shack. Actually, where's Bernie Shack on here? Oh, there we go. Alright, Bernie!
Are you here? Does your despite on such that there's nothing any interest? All I know now is that
I don't think I have to buy anything off of him, but I'm gonna still do it anyways, just because I can.
well,
There we go. And before I start murdering him, let me go ahead and Chug Flask, Golden Vow, Cerulean Tears. Alright. One big meaty poke.
suppose I have no choice. You are an
There we go.
enigma. To be certain, the volcano manor awaits you.
There we go. And before we cash that in, we have to go back to Altus Plateau. Go talk to Raya, get our ass cheeks teleported up top. Do I have the money to... probably not right now, but I can probably use the money off of Margit to do this.
I knew you. I hear. Take my hand. Give. I will.
There we go. All right, cool. All right, accept the invitation.
A warrior, perhaps. Will you join rise with us? Now you the drawing room, but be sure.
There we go. Cool. Now we go turn in the bell bearing. We're not gonna have enough money to purchase this just yet, but we definitely should have enough money after we're done with Margit. Alright, there we go. He's selling Assassin's Gambit. Perfect. And otherwise, we are essentially good to go. I'll go and buy the seal, I guess, since I'm here. And I'm gonna wait. Let's see here, I need... Weird that Stormhill is its own section, actually, now I'm thinking about it. Alright, cool. Let's go to Stormhill. Let's go deal with Margit. Once we have the money off of Margit, we can go ahead and buy what we need. We might also take a different route through Stormhill this time, because the last couple of times I've done it, it's my usual routing, which isn't really bad, per se. It's just, it doesn't exactly give us access to certain tools that I could otherwise have access to. Okay, almost took that shot to the face. Either way, long story short, it could give us access to things that would be actually pretty damn useful that I haven't given myself access to before. This guy's just kind of fast. Also, he definitely just tried to fucking, like... He tried to clip my ass right out of the animation there. Which would have, kind of sucked a little bit. Okay, so I do have enough strength to wield this two-handed, so cool. Alright, I think I'm going to take that as opposed to the alternative in this case, because that's 20% more on physical attacks at that point. And... not sure if it's overall better damage, but I'm going to go ahead and assume it kind of is. I think we're pretty much good to go. Crag on my blade. Oh shit, I have Giant's Hunt. Alright, let me fix that real quickly. Giant's Hunt, in theory, probably would be fine, but I would rather... I would rather have Crag's Blade, I guess. Fuck it. We're feeling stupid. We're feeling silly. So I'm gonna try out Giant's Hunt and see what happens here. And our worst case scenario is that it is not cooking. Yeah, honestly, the stupidity is definitely showing itself.
Warrior blood must truly run in my veins.
Yeah, admittedly, the stupidity is really showing itself.
These foolish ambitions to rest.
I'm making choices that I otherwise should not be making, frankly, right now, and I'm disappointed in myself. And, like, it's so easy for me to have not done that. It's so easy for me to have not done what I literally just did. But I did it anyways, as if I was going to change the odds. So. Oh well, I guess I'll fucking make dumb shit choices every single day of the week. Anyways, plus 14, Crag's Blade, Zweihander, whoopee. And now, probably a better experience. More than likely a better experience. You know what I fucking love there? Is that he didn't actually earn that hit. He just got lucky. Oh, look at that. He's getting fucking lucky again. Yeah, he's getting fucking lucky again. Fuck this guy. Good for him. You know what? Actually, I think he totally earned that through pure skill and merit. I.e., I fucking dropped the ball. In all seriousness, no. I dropped the ball like nobody's business.
Thou art of passing skill.
I'm actually surprised multiple times here that that wasn't a stagger. Like, it should have been a stagger in my opinion. Because, like, look how much a stagger does to this man, right? Like, that's what I should have been getting. Meanwhile, I wasn't getting that for fucking shit. So, GG's, I suppose.
Its title, the guard you breached. Well, but of course.
Alright, I guess at this point we could probably just start pumping strength. Also, I guess I did mention the fact that I would be taking a secondary route here, like, a couple times in a row. So, you know what? Gustuck.
What's it to you? Stay back, you wretched tarnished. Oh, why is it always me? What did I do?
Anyways. A nice jump. It feels fucking stupid that I lost as many hits as I did there to, like, relatively straightforward and simple things. It feels dumb for a multitude of reasons, but the main source of those reasons, it feels worse mainly because of how they happened. Like, it was literally just carelessness, for the most part. There we go. I do need to make sure I go back to Weeping for a second to go pick up some more kukri. I am bone dry on them at this point, and that needs to be fixed. Okay, there we go. Almost through this area for the most part. How am I doing on stone swords? I have one stone sword. I don't know if the one down below is activated by only one, but I guess I could find out real quickly. Now that I got that grace, I can just kind of check it. Yeah, I'm gonna check it real quickly. Worst case scenario here is that it requires 2, and I could probably go get a second one. Nope, 1 does the trick. Okay, cool. I don't think a bow will do the trick here, but I can find out. Okay, they got aggroed anyways, because fuck me, apparently. Luckily, I do enough damage that doesn't matter, but, like, still mildly frustrating. Iron Wet Blade acquired, beautiful. Okay, alright, we need to go back, get some more kukri. And with those kukri, we'll be more or less solid for a while.
Right.
I think in this case 20 max. You know what, 15 should be fine. We really don't need that many in the grand scheme of things. So, as long as we're relatively, you know, like, smart about our placements, we should be fine. It's not that hard. I think I already bought the pot that Kale sells. Yes, I did. Okay, cool.
Goodbye.
Alright. We don't yet have access to everything that we need right now, but we're pretty close to it. I guess in this case we could technically go after, I guess we could go after, Radon sooner than later. Yeah, you know, I'm kind of feeling like, why not? Like, Radon really wouldn't be terrible. But I think in this case I'm going to wait until after Godric is done. Just to be a teensy bit safer about it, in theory. So, once we're done, or once Godric is done, then we'll worry about, Radon. How are we doing, actually, sleeping pot-wise? We have 3 sleeping pots. Trina lilies, we have 13 total right now. Okay, so we're doing pretty good on lilies, actually, all things considered. Which is good. The less of them to worry about, the better off we are. More kukri. I don't technically need this grace, but I will get it anyways. It makes my life, like, just easier enough. trying to think if there's anything else that we can do right now to improve this build. While we could go ahead and probably go get... You know what? Yeah, I guess in this case we probably could go get... whatchamacallit up here. I'm going to try in this case just taking the right side up and seeing how the right side goes for me. I'm not going to say that's horribly safe, but in this case, in theory, assuming that I can get over to this guy, problem is that doesn't make things safer, necessarily. It just simply makes things maybe potentially less dangerous. So here's hoping the best for that scenario. But, there. Kukuri. Both of those activated. Doesn't really matter what jail we warp to there, we just need to get the fuck out. But, I mean, essentially, what we just did there is exactly how that was supposed to go in the first place. So, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what we were hoping for. I think in this case, because I'm in the area for it, and because I can do it... Where is it? I think it's right around there. Okay. Yep. There we go. Flame of the Redmanes. With Flame of the Redmanes, we can use that essentially to go and deal with any of the Erdtree avatars. And killing an Erdtree avatar, especially one in Caelid, that is worth a lot of money. So it does have some value to it. Like in this case. Specifically, the Fort Barath one that's right around the corner there. That one is worth a lot of money. So I kind of almost feel like doing it just because I can. Yeah, I kind of feel like doing it just because I can. In theory, this should probably be better if I were to go and put Flame on. So I think I will be doing that, actually.
Well, I took you no matter how you're up.
Flame goes a long way against these guys. Alright, let's go kill a tree. This should be fine. And we can also do a little bit of a setup here, more or less, to get just a little bit more damage on this as well. And that shouldn't suck. Let me go ahead. Golden Vow. Chug. There's the tree. Go ahead and do that. Oh, okay, sure. Yeah, fucking ignore the set. Ignore the setup entirely. Thank you. Gotta say, I really appreciate the fact that it just completely ignored any setup that I fucking gave there. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. Whatever. We're just gonna do it again, but this time technically it should be easier from this route, right? Because I can just Yep. Do that instead. Tried to fucking do the slam-a-jam. Tried to do the slam-a-jam. I'm really glad that my lack of a roll there didn't catch me. Oh boy, nothing like fucking laser beams. Anyways, there's like, I think 80k, 90k. It's worth the murder. It's just unfortunate that I took a hit. Yeah. Alright, 90k acquired. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Alright, with that in mind, let's go ahead and head back to Secluded Cell. Go ahead and cash in on that. Actually, technically speaking, I should have probably changed out the Ash of War before I come in here, but whatever. At this point, it is kind of what it is. There we go. It would be helpful if I had the standard Ash of War dagger, but I just don't. The fact that I don't have the standard Ash of War wet blade can make it a little bit frustrating having to go back and forth between Hugh and whatnot every single time, but yeah. It just is, honestly. The thing is, too, is that honestly, I might have been very well able to just get through that fight with Cragblade on there, and it might not have been a problem, in all seriousness. It's just I know how deeply fire damage affects the trees. Yeah, it does a lot of work, so. Let's see here. So, like, in theory, right now, what we could do is we could go off towards Altus Tunnel, and from Altus Tunnel, we could go ahead and get the stones that we need to get our bad boy up to a plus 15, and then from plus 15, I think we have enough stones to possibly get it up to a plus 17 at most, I believe. I guess we could do that. I'm just kind of questioning on whether or not that's a requirement. And what we might end up doing. What we might end up doing tomorrow. Or the next time stream is on. Is we might end up doing a stream where we essentially just test it and seeing what happens. If I go in at a plus 12, a plus 14, and just kind of see what the reasonable results are. Because if, like, a plus 12 isn't really that bad, and it's able to get through pretty easily with, like, some skill, doing a boss fight with some skill is less difficult than having to hope for the best in a cave system with multiple enemies where you might end up getting fucked over just because, well, you breathed the wrong way, right? And so that might be a portion of what we look into. We'll have to kind of see. So on a side note here, folks, if you've been having a good time with me tonight, just chilling out, hanging out, enjoying seeing kind of this entire run come together and whatnot, do, in all seriousness, be sure to leave a like on the stream. It does help a lot. means a lot, and it really does help further not only increase pretty much what I like to do. It makes it so, in this case, like, more people who enjoy this, like yourselves, get to see more of what I'm doing too. So, if you have already, thank you very much. It means a lot and a half to me. And if you haven't, well, I mean, shit, consider doing it, because it does genuinely mean something. So, yeah. Altus Tunnel, we learned a little bit more about it last time. And while Altus Tunnel isn't, like, horribly, horribly dangerous, it's got particularly annoying enemies in it that otherwise can cause a lot of issues. I'm gonna real quickly check. So we got ours Y up to a plus 14. And that's without all of the stones out of the other tunnel. Plus 14, we have 1 extra stone. I think I got lucky and got an extra stone in this case. So, gotcha. But in this case, we'd need total plus, like, 6. We'd need 6 out of this tunnel to make anything valuable happen, pretty much. That would be, like, our absolute maximum requirements to make this tunnel worth our time. Possibly 5. Man, I love it when I get fucking hit by stupid shit. What was that? 2 hits? I think that was 2 hits. Unfortunately. It does make me question whether or not Altus Tunnel is worth the effort of it. Because while there is plus 5s in here, there's some relatively dangerous enemies in here that can just kind of annihilate your shit. And that is enough of an issue on its own. I don't remember if there's a plus a 5 over there. I'm gonna assume that there is. There was not. Okay, cool. So that was more or less a waste of time. Gorgeous. Did not mean to use a sleeping arrow on that guy, but I did, apparently. So fair enough. Alright, I believe there's one guy that just shows up and he's like immediately angry with me here. Oh, okay, so apparently one of the guys up top got immediately angry with me. Go. I thought there was one more guy. Yep, there he is. He didn't activate in the same way as normal, but he was still there. He was still there. Either way, that's 3, 4. This would be 5 right over here. And then 6. I know they're 6 would be right over here. Okay. Technically speaking, 6 is up there. But in our current situation being what it is, we only needed the 1 extra. We got a little bit lucky on our drops, and one of the other enemies dropped an extra 5 for us. So there was that. If we do happen to get lucky enough to get an extra 5, or if I spent a little bit more time in Old Altus Tunnel. Old Altus Tunnel did have an extra 5 in it, I'm sure of that much. It's just I have not acted on that a single time yet. So if I were to act on that, that wouldn't be a bad idea, grand scheme of things. And likewise, that little bit of extra does take our weapon from what it is currently at a plus 14, I think all the way up to a plus 17. Never mind, actually, I'm entirely wrong. Okay. We don't have any 6s right now, actually. So, I think in this case how we got 6s the last time, if I remember correctly, is we went and killed the Fallen Star Beast that's right outside by the 2 tree sentinels. Again, it kind of falls into a category of, is it worth it to do that for the sake of what we're looking at? Because, like, that, I don't know. It's kind of in a weird spot. It is, in fact, in a weird spot. So. Take a little bit of extra money. Don't think this is going to be enough to get us up to 10 in faith. Even if we wanted to. Yeah, no, not even right now. Maybe that would be a more worthy investment a little sooner than later. Just because getting up to 10 faith would cover our requirement to getting Flame Grant Me. And even if we hot swap items or hot swap talismans, we can just kind of make that work, right? Because, like, that's 20% physical damage that we're missing out on right now because I'm not doing that. As opposed to me just doing that. And literally, from right here over to here is the, is a talisman for it. The talisman for +5 on faith. So that is kind of a miss. And yeah, the more that I think about it, the more that makes reasonable sense. Getting that damage, that's 20% more damage that I'm missing out on because I want a little bit more in stats. And in terms of stats, I don't really know if like a couple points worth more of stats makes a huge difference comparatively. Fuck. Accidentally triggered them, of course I did. There's a way of doing that without triggering any of them, and it's probably one of the few, if not only times I've ever triggered them. Yeah, actually legitimately one of the only times I've ever triggered them. Admittedly, still coming down here probably was a little bit stupid, but, well, we're here now. And plus, honestly, I've made plenty of mistakes on this run. The fact that I'm at 20 hits right now is kind of just, I don't know, it's just sad. Like, I shouldn't be at 20 hits right now. Okay. Alright, I do that. I don't have a way of earning extra money right now other than maybe doing, Godric, I guess, and then going and getting his, Great Rune. Bow into Cragblade, chug this, and we're good to go. Yeah, plus 15's Y-hander, in theory, should be good. cooked.
of all that is golden. And one day, we'll return together to our home, bathed in rays of gold.
I did accidentally let him talk. I shouldn't have technically let him talk there, but, well, oh well, we're here now. There we go, and then there we go. Let's go get Assassin's Gambit before I completely forget to do that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna carry this run through to fruition, for sure. Because I would prefer to do that, just so that way I can kind of... Yeah, I want to keep kind of pushing it and making sure that I understand certain aspects of these runs. And one of the things that I definitely fuck up on, and I think that's it. I wanna improve. And for all intents and purposes right now, well, it's not much better. If I don't manage to take another hit this entire run right now, we're at 26 hits. Which, I mean, shit. 26 hits, not bad. Wait, really? Scimitar can't have... Huh. That's actually kind of weird. I didn't realize the Scimitar couldn't have that on there. Huh. Okay, alright. I mean, I guess I could make the secondary dagger. The thing is like, the secondary dagger is not normal for the run, but I'll still take it for all intents and purposes. So, yeah, we'll do that. But let's go ahead and from secluded cell, left side chamber is probably technically safer, in theory. In theory. That's the gambit. There we go. Cool. We got our stealth strats. Kinda... Huh. This actually admittedly doesn't feel as safe as just going from the other way. Yeah, because now I'm kind of looking at this like, I have never run this way from this angle, and everything that I've managed to avoid so far is kind of a surprise. Yeah, this is not normal at all. So I think if I'm gonna do that again, I'm gonna run from main gate entrance, because that was stupid. That was highly fucking stupid. I got away with that. Either way, though. Don't really need that grace, but I'll fucking take it anyways, so why not? I don't know if there's a specific way of making it so neither of these, or really none of these golems, trigger on you, but in this case, as far as Assassin's Gambit stands, it does help with the aggro range, because that one doesn't usually aggro as quickly. It doesn't prevent all of them. It just simply prevents some aggro. And it's not enough to really be good enough, but it's almost good enough. Luckily, he prioritizes an arrow every single time. Yeah, that's where the arrow's supposed to go. Okay, sure. Fuck it. Why not? Okay. we go. And this will also cover the Fate Talisman requirement that we just picked up. Like, it's good to have this in case we, you know, we fuck up, obviously. But it's not required. It just simply helps. Alright. Once we're done here, we're gonna go deal with Radon. I think after Radon, then we go ahead and kill Alexander. Alexander will give us the plus 11, plus 10, whatever the fucking talisman's worth, for Ashes of War, which will be useful for later, for sure. There we go. Activate that Great Rune. We have everything that we need in place right now. Go ahead and pop this. Do that. We don't, I think, need the bow for right now. Which actually does bring us down to light load, which is nice. Oh, Flame Grant Me. We do have access to Flame Grant Me now. So let's go ahead and put Flame Grant Me in the pool. That might eat up that little bit that we had there, and put us back into medium load. Yep. Okay, so that does do that. I mean, while we could technically pull off the dagger, I've done too many of these fights in medium load, and it really doesn't matter, grand scheme of things. So it's fine.
Champions, welcome.
15 faith,
The stars
beautiful.
have aligned. The festival. The festival.
Let's do this.
Oh, the cel-
Alright, I think there's a +5 over there. We don't need that. It's gonna be a +6 in front of us in this little chapel. Not really worth our time, but still. Alrighty. We're looking pretty darn good, all things considered. Time for, hopefully, a halfway decent Radon. Or not. That's also a possibility. Yeah. Okay. Alright. See, I don't know what it is, but, like, it feels like you can get away in time there. But all too often, I feel like, usually speaking, you're not gonna get away with it very frequently there. I usually, like, you have to pretty much get on Torrent, like, immediately as soon as Radon is ready to fire. Otherwise, he's usually going to hit you. Chug. Golden Vow. Flame. Crag. Really? That's a hit. Sure it was. Sure it was, Radon. Really? Wow, we're fucking playing goofball strategies today, huh? Radon's on some fucking goofball shit. That was unfortunate. That should have been a lot cleaner than that, and unfortunately Radon just kind of gave it to us. Alright. Alexander, hey buddy. Like, not really sorry for what happens next.
What are you playing at? This is great. I see. How could this...
No, you don't.
Was
There we
my
go.
whole existence just a crock?
A crock pot? Aha. I'm dying. Alright, there we go. Alright. Time to go after, feckin' whatchamacallit. Funny enough, I think this is where I more or less, not like I thought that this was the case, but purely it seemed like it was more the case overall. Last time I did this, I think I realized more or less that the balls were kind of a little bit better, I think, for the, Dragon Sentinel. It seemed overall best, purely off of the overall damage output. And in terms of the speed of it, it generally just seemed better for that reason. We could go get, I think, another talisman slot at this point if we wanted to. I might end up doing it, because, you know what, for all it's worth, we do have the Radagon Source Seal, and the Radagon Source Seal would help us cover a little bit more in terms of stats that I would not normally have. So that it might be an option. That might be a reasonable option. Alright, I don't think this covers me the whole way across, but it does cover me a majority of the way across. Yeah. Yep, majority of the way across, indeed. Alright, go ahead and do that. I need to ride outside of the limits. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, I do actually need the Assassin's Gambit dagger for just a little teensy bit longer. Go right up to here. Swap in a crag blade. Wait, what? Oh, it's in my main hand. Okay, that makes sense. Chug that. Golden Vow. Damn! Okay, he just gets fucking triggered. From down fucking town. I'm a little annoyed, actually. Because, like, I don't know, I just didn't realize that, Crag's Blade would trigger from that distance. But I guess now I realize that it has more of a, it has a bigger aggro range than I thought it did, actually. Kinda annoying. Kinda annoying. But, oh well. Alright, more into strength. Beautiful. Let's go after Piss Godfrey. Go and swap on in the Assassin's Gambit dagger, because we're not going to really be attacking anything until... more or less until we get to the eastern balcony. In this case. So. Magic Grease. I think we might relatively wrap up here. Probably... I think after Morgott. I think that seems reasonable. Yeah, I think after Morgott, we're going to wrap up for the night. There we go. Slightly safer rooftop routing this time. Still gonna end up getting the shortcut because, well, I mean, there's not really a good enough reason to not get the shortcut. I mean, in this case, it literally just essentially makes sure that we don't have to think about it too hard later on. And that does not suck. So... So one thing I did kind of realize that I don't think we need to think about as much is while Starfists have provided us a lot in the past, I don't think we're going to be doing Starfists on this one. They are essentially just better balls at the end of the day, but in terms of better balls, I'm not sure if they're necessarily better for Radagon Elden Beast. And in all seriousness, other than Radagon Elden Beast, balls aren't exactly required. You know, actually, I don't think I need that stealth bonus there. We're about to kill the tree. That's unfortunate for me, but mostly for me. And also for me. I could have just not done what I did there, and that would have been... It would have been better, but... That was my choice. That was my choice to make. There we go. Well, alright. Less stupid mistakes to make now. God damn, I sometimes forget just how long our right-hander really is. Didn't mean to take that crit immediately, but fuck it, whatever, it works out. Pays off. Cash money. So, yeah, you know what, actually, yeah, that worked out exactly the way we wanted it to. Alright, go ahead and put on Assassin's Gambit Dagger. Sneaky, sneaky. Very nice. It's kind of funny, though, I guess, to a certain extent, because, like, I don't know, like, at this point in time, at least, we're not terribly well off. Like, 20-some-odd hits is not bad, grand scheme of things. It's just a simple matter of fixing a lot of the smaller issues. And, like, it sounds like it can be a lot, but at the same time, it really just kind of comes down to don't be a dumbass. Which in my case is probably the hardest challenge I could come across, but, you know, them's be the breaks, I guess. I don't need this brace necessarily, but fuck it, we're here. Like, in theory, we don't need the spiky balls at all. In theory. You know what we don't have on this run that we had last run? Is we don't have the green turtle talisman. That would probably be a chunk of what's missing here. The stamina difference does matter just enough, I would say. It would be useful here, for sure. That being said, in certain circumstances, it really makes up no difference. I think we have everything essentially that we need, more or less, for this boss fight coming up. Golden Vow. We already... Oh, shit. I guess we already used that. Alright, that's fine. Flame. Frag on my blade. Run into arena. Run away. Run towards boss. He tosses axe. We big meaty poke. Big meaty poke. Should stagger. Crit. And that is a gold-free dead put in the grave. Love to see it. That is another talisman slot. We can go ahead and put in Radagon Sourceal, probably. Yeah, you know what? Radagon Sourceal probably is the right idea here. The only one that we're technically missing right now would be the turtle talisman. But oh well, it's probably fine. All right, Assassin's Gambit here. Run up. Should have technically done that a little bit sooner. Slide right past. She didn't even know. Go and sit down here real quickly and go ahead and spend our money. There we go. Cool. Overall, not too shabby. The one thing I can say here reasonably is that this is probably one of those few boss fights that we benefit if we actually, like, reset the fight instead of just going into the boss fight and just doing what we're gonna do here. Because when we reset the boss fight, we can do all our buffing in the arena itself, and then bait out pretty much what I would consider one of his best attacks, which we're going to be doing regardless. Roll, roll, roll. He jumps. We go ahead and meaty his butthole. Stab. Fucking delete his health bar. Okay, little unfortunate he still got a fucking hit on us there, but I mean, like, point stands. That would be a fucking meme. He in fact memed us. Understandable. Yeah. Fucking old man memed us. God damn it. That was a firm meme, too. In all seriousness. Fucking old man. Alright, you know what? I think we're gonna leave it on that tonight. That's so disappointing, the fucking old man. Like, here's the thing, like, we're still below estimate, but I would rather reset at this point than to take it any further than that, and I would like to try and keep pushing for something better, ultimately. So, I think we're gonna go and delete our character, have it reset for the next time. Next time we're back, we'll definitely be continuing to try and push that envelope, sure. Absolutely. But I think for right now, let's leave it as is. That being said, that's gonna have to be it for tonight, folks. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you joined me, I really appreciated a ton and a half, and I hope you had a wonderful time with me. As I stated earlier, if you had a good time, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It means a lot and a half. And it's the easiest way to definitely know when we're going live again. Well, technically speaking, the easiest way to know when we're going live again is if you join our Discord, but That is linked in the live stream description. But yeah, folks. Seriously, thanks for joining tonight. I do appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Take good care of yourselves. Get some food, some water, some sleep if that's your time frame of the world. But either way, I will see you all later. And thank you again for stopping in. It does mean a lot.
This is a real B&H customer